If you really want the real story, I joined FFA to meet boys.
It used to stand for Future Farmers of America, but it's no longer just for farmers. We are a leadership organization that focuses on leadership, career success, building an individual student into their highest potential, and we also learn about agriculture. There is like 60,000 FFA members all wearing their blue jackets.
Yep.
Largest and biggest agricultural corporations are there vying to try to get them to apply and work for their companies, and colleges are there. The amount of money, it's intense. It is really incredible. Once you become a national FFA officer, your life has changed forever. Like, it probably means that you're going to be running Big John Deere someplace. Maybe you'll be like the Secretary of State for Agriculture.
Wow.
Like, they travel the entire world as ambassadors for agriculture.
Well, no wonder they're so excited.
Yeah.
And the comments are like, I have no idea what this is, but I'm crying. And everybody should want to support agriculture.
Exactly.
This is all life skills. Some of the classes should be required.
I love my job, and I wouldn't do anything else.
When you hear the letters FFA, what comes to mind? Tractors, livestock, blue jackets? Well, all those are a part of the story. That's just the tip of the iceberg. On today's podcast, we're joined by FFA advisor Jessie and two FFA Princeton chapter members, Callie and Morgan, to tell us what it's really like to be involved in FFA.
Welcome to the Princeton Podcast, your go-to source for everything happening in and around Princeton. Join your hosts, Zach, Mary, and Kim, three locals who live and work right here in Princeton, as we bring you the latest events, exclusive interviews with local businesses, and stories that make our town special. Your community, your stories, your podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Federated Co-ops, your land, your community, your co-op.
All right. Well, we are so excited to learn more about FFA. We have Jessie and Callie and Morgan with us today. So welcome.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Good to have you guys here.
So Jessie, what is your role in I'm going to say 4-H because we were talking about that earlier off camera, but with FFA, and what does FFA stand for?
So I am one of the FFA advisors at Princeton High School. I also do it with Kristen Ryman-Duden. She's my co-advisor, and I couldn't do it without her. But it's now National FFA Organization. It used to stand for Future Farmers of America, but it's no longer just for farmers. We are a leadership organization that focuses on leadership, career success, building an individual student into their highest potential, and we also learn about agriculture. But it's just so much more than farming, so that's why the name has changed.
So what is it? What is FFA now?
It's just
FFA.
Just
so
FFA.
It's not
Doesn't
Futures.
Not an
stand for
acronym anymore.
anything.
Okay.
Nope.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm glad
they-
you said that because I thought it was still.
Yeah, they changed it in the 1980s just because they wanted people to know it's not just for farmers.
Yeah.
There are so many careers that you can learn about through FFA that aren't just farming. We have the mechanics and the small engines and natural resources and horticulture, anything with veterinarian. A lot of our members might go into being doctors just because of all the skills they learn and the things they learn about. There's just so much more.
Very cool.
So basically, you're saying you do not have to live on a farm, be a farmer, have anything to do with agriculture to be a part of FFA.
Not at all.
Any student can join.
Yeah, any student can join. One of the funny things is a lot of times kids come to our first FFA meeting thinking it's going to be something different, and their minds are blown away with the change and how it's just for everybody. I remember one student, these two students came and they thought it was environmental club. And they had nothing to do with agriculture at all. But they became a president and the vice president of agriculture FFA years later because they just fell in love with it. So, yeah, they
And
accidentally went to the wrong meeting.
Yeah, and there isn't an environmental
There
club,
is
isn't
an
there?
environmental
yeah.
club,
Yeah. That. So is FFA like an after school or is it part of school?
It's both.
Okay.
We do activities during school, but then also extracurricular after school.
Okay, so you teach classes.
Yes.
And all of your students are FFA or not?
Not in our school.
Okay.
They have the option in our school. There are some schools across the United States where if you're in agricultural class, you're automatically in FFA.
Okay.
But that is not the case in Minnesota as of yet.
Okay.
Do you think, I'm curious how that works, because I feel like if you're in an FFA class and I don't know why, you maybe don't want to be a part of FFA, the organization, then maybe you're not going to get as good of a response or participation or from those students. I'm just curious what the reasoning for that is.
I think a lot, I think that all students benefit from the agricultural class, and it's not like we're singling out FFA kids in the classroom.
Right. No. Yeah.
No, so it's just they get pulled out of class for different things. But in class, I'm teaching them about forestry and how to identify trees. And then the members that are in FFA can then go to the contest and actually perform that of identifying trees. So they get like an extra extension of it.
Got it. Okay.
So Jessie, what classes do you teach? And then I want to hear from you girls on what classes you take.
Okay. So I kind of have three main areas that I teach. I teach the natural resources classes. We have like 3 different levels of that. I teach the animal science class, and that ranges from companion animals to vet science. And then finally, I do the horticulture classes with the floral and advanced floral. We also have another ag teacher at Princeton High School, Leif Storbakken, and he does the shop and the welding and construction. And so he is not an FFA advisor, but he does help us a lot, and he does train and prepare a lot of our students for our contests and stuff. And he always helps with the football concession stand. So
that's always
we
nice,
could
too.
not
You guys
do that without him.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, before you ask about the classes, I just, Callie was kind of telling us a story about how she got involved. Not by accident, but kind of like, sort of. So tell us that story.
Yes, so when I first joined FFA, it was not really something, not that I didn't want to join, but it wasn't like, oh, I just really, really want to be a part of FFA. So in 8th grade, FFA members go to the middle school and show a little bit of each possible thing that they could do in FFA. So we go and teach them how to make corsages, we teach them some forestry stuff and some ag mechanics, and I had a friend that's like, hey, I want to join and I don't want to do it alone. So do you want to join? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Like I wasn't really planning on it, but why not? Like if you're here, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
About 2 months in, she decided that it wasn't for her. And I had already paid the fee. And I was like, you know what? We'll just stick it out. Like worst case scenario, I decide I don't want to do it. So I stayed. And I actually joined the Floral group my first year. And the community that we have in Princeton FFA, and even Minnesota FFA and National FFA, it's just amazing. Like, I don't think I could have found a community like I did here in Princeton. And I just fell in love in a way that I never thought was possible. And I'm going to be in it the rest of my high school career, and I hope to one day become a part of the alumni foundation and stuff like that. So
after high school, that's it. There's not an organization after that with FFA?
I believe that some colleges do offer like a college type thing where
Okay.
you can still do the competitions and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And most colleges offer block and bridle clubs that like do similar stuff. That's more geared towards like people who are in 4-H, but if you're an FFA member, you're still able to do it.
Cool.
So it's not like you're cut off once you
Yeah.
graduate high school. And honestly, I feel like it's one of the best things that you can do. It teaches you so much. There's so many people that I never thought I would have been able to talk to. And then I joined, and like it's opened so many doorways for me.
Well, not only that, but a big part of it, I understand, is about leadership and about being able to like do what you're doing today and being comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Before we got on, you guys were kind of excited about this, and Jessie was like, "I'm nervous." And you're like, "No, we're not." So
You guys are natural.
that's a great way to lead into college, because going away somewhere where you don't know anybody possibly and feeling comfortable and another great benefit of it. Yeah.
What about you, Morgan? What's your story?
So if you really want the real story, I joined FFA to meet boys. That's the real story.
That's such a good way to meet boys.
you know that,
I hadn't really
I
thought
don't
about
know.
that.
I don't know.
I was looking for a farm guy, but
What a good plan.
I usually just tell people that I already had friends in it, and I had known Lupke's previously in her family before in 4-H. So that's kind of what like drew me there. And I was taking a bunch of Lupke's horticulture classes because I was a really big fan of Floral. And she always was like, try it. You got to get on the Floral team. You got to, like, you're really good. And so I was like, okay, I'll do it. I tried, and honestly, like, I learned so much, and I met, like, such a nice, close-knit group of girls. And I'll never forget, after we did our regional competition and we got our scores back and we found out that we were going to state, I remember telling Elizabeth Kulke, and I was like, we're going to state. And I just thought that was, like, a natural thing. And she goes, we're going to state? Like, this is something like big. And I was like, really? Like, I thought we always go to state type thing. I was just like a little freshman, so I didn't really know. And she's like, oh my gosh. And it's kind of what got me hooked. I was like, this is a big thing. Like, what we're doing is big. And it's like, it means a lot to the other girls too. And just like being a team player at the end of the day. Like, I was the captain of the Floral team last year. I was like the student teacher. And it kind of meant something to me, like knowing that when my girls were practicing and participating, and like it all affected our team. So like if somebody wasn't attending like practices, it showed when like we did test practices, and it was like, guys, we're doing this for each other. It's not just for one person here. Like, we all want to succeed. So
Well, and when you say I thought we always went to state, I mean, Princeton kind of always does. That's because Princeton is good. So I can see why you probably thought that. But can you kind of explain, and I don't know who is best to explain this, but when you're talking about practices for Floral, like, what are all the different things? And there must be many, many, many. And how does that work? I don't have
for the competitions.
Yeah.
So she mentioned the floral design. Fish and wildlife is big at Princeton as well, considering the community that we're in. And for floral and fish and wildlife, they're kind of similar contests where you would identify like all the fish and wildlife in Minnesota, insects, all those type of things based on like a fur or a skull or something at a competition. Oh. And there's also a test about different things, like which one of these animals is diurnal or, and then that's for the fish and wildlife. The horticulture also has plant identification, a test, but the floral also has a huge math portion. So, and that's really tough to figure out, like, if you have this many plants to plant, how much soil do you need and how many containers?
Oh,
and
you're kidding.
Well, I suppose, yeah.
it's really intense. Or like if you're making a funeral arrangement, how much should you charge your customer?
Wow, that's so cool. So what are you doing in practices then?
So, like, in practices, we'll, like, usually set up, like, a day that makes sense for all of us that work. So, Wednesdays were our days that we usually did it. And then we kind of just choose a topic to talk about. So, like, I think our first practice last year was talking about fertilizer and how to get your flowers to grow. What does NPK stand for? What does it mean when you're reading a bag of fertilizer? How does this impact, like, the growth? Like, what is nitrogen doing for your plant that's, like, phosphorus not doing? So we'll talk about stuff like that. But the math portion that Lupke's talked about, we'll have math teachers actually come in and teach us because it can talk about cubic feet to cubic yards, and trying to convert all that is just so much. And they only give us like a little tiny calculator to use, so we don't get any like fancy like scientific stuff. So you just have to know like all that in a bag of chips, and you have to be able to apply that in a select time frame because each portion is like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And so you have people that are coming to you saying, okay, here's a scenario. And then you as a team figure it out?
No, it's
all
individual. That part's individual. There are some team parts of some competitions, like I mentioned that there's Floral and natural resources, fish and wildlife, but there's also small engines, egg mechanics, horse, dairy judging, livestock judging, and like a lot of the judging does have a team portion where you get together and try to solve a problem together. But the Floral is all individual, but then they add up. You can win individually and as a team.
Okay. So yeah, that's really cool. So you are doing it for the team too, because the more points I'm assuming that you get,
Yep.
that's how you win.
Yep. And Morgan did a fabulous job of getting, I think usually every Wednesday I had 15 young ladies in my room learning about Floral and loving it. And they just, like, they wouldn't miss a practice. And that's commitment.
No
and
kidding.
That also shows, like Morgan says, they're there for each other and for the team.
That it's so, I just hadn't, which just seems stupid now, but I hadn't thought about that portion of it where I just assumed that you were putting flower arrangements together and that was a competition. So that's so cool.
I want to go back and join
Be an FFA. I know.
It'd be so helpful for now when I'm trying to get my grass to grow and I'm trying to figure out how much water and when and what are the better times and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I might have to just pop in and listen.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes.
and luckily Lupke's has a greenhouse too, which I know there's not a lot of other schools that have that opportunity, and so we really get a lot of hands-on in our classes, and most of our classes in ag are connected to FFA. So what you're learning in FFA is pretty much the same stuff you're learning in class, and so it really helps build you up and basically like continue your growth in whatever you're looking forward to in futures.
And what's better than hands-on learning like that, being able to, and then seeing the growth and, with the greenhouse and producing things and seeing them grow, which is really cool. And then you have an annual sale where you sell plants to the public.
Yeah, and then that's when you're learning like customer service and being able to like help people. And this is also like testing your knowledge. Like, I'm looking for pink petunias. Well, you should know what the pink color is, but what are petunias? What do they look like? What do their leaves look like? What if they're not blooming? And so all that identification kind of comes in too.
Yeah.
And you probably have people coming in saying, I have full sun, or I have, I hardly have any sun, and then you have to kind of direct them in the right direction for the plants that they need.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is kind of, it falls under business too. I feel like FFA.
Yes, 100%.
And are any of yours required or are they just electives?
Currently, I have no classes that are required.
Okay.
I have taught some in the past that have been required, but currently there are none.
This is all life skills. And I feel like it should be
Yes.
required. Some of the classes should be required. Very cool.
Callie, what about you? What competitions do you participate in?
So this year I did the livestock team. So we look at all different animals. So we look at cows, we look at sheep, we look at goats, pigs, and we look at their appearance and judge them based on the qualities they have. If they're a meat animal, there's different things you look for than a breeding animal. And then even like difference between like a sheep and a goat. Some people put them really close together, like, oh, they're practically the same thing. And there's completely different things you look for between those two animals. And that is actually, I think it's probably one of the harder ones if you don't fully understand what you're doing, because you have 6 minutes at the competition to rank them, which one wins the class, which one loses. And then when you go to state, 2 of those classes you actually have to give reasonings for. So you can't just say, oh, well, 3 looked pretty and 2 looked like really bad, because then you're not going to get a good score on your reasonings. But it's another thing that farmers need to look for. We also talk about, okay, we have this pig that we want to breed. Which one of these ones are the best? Like, which sire would you want to breed to your females?
So how does this look in competition? So the judges are bringing the animals in, and then you don't know what's going to be before you? Is that?
Yes. So what we tend to do is most of the time they're just free roaming in pens, and you go and they have numbers either on a tag or they're like spray painted on them. And you look at one, and I try to do it where I look at the one animal, spend like a minute, jot down as many notes, move on to the next. And sometimes when they're moving so much, you can't really do that. So you also have to be able to shift and remember and take good enough notes so that when you place them, you're not missing some information.
So you're not going up to them and touching them and feeling
Just
muscle or whatever it is that you're looking at.
Sometimes when we do like meat lambs, they'll let you touch them, but in most of our competitions, they don't.
Okay.
a lamb. If they let me touch it, I would just be petting and
Hugging
holding
it.
Yes. And my brother, his joining, like his introduction to FFA was also kind of funny. He just finished up his junior year, so he's a senior. And since I joined, I'm 1 year younger than him, so I'm going to be a junior next year. I've been like, Colton, you should just join. Like, you're so good at like, he's really big into like ag mechanics, and he wants to be a welder when he grows up and stuff like that. And I'm like, this could help you so much. Like, you get the opportunity to talk to people, opportunity for scholarships and stuff like that. And he's like, no, like it'd be fun, but why would I do that? And we're all like, Colton, are you serious? Well, we actually got him to join 3 weeks before the ag mechanics competition to qualify for state, and he placed first.
in the state.
Not
No,
in state.
to go to
for
state.
the regional.
To go to state.
To go to
But
state.
still, wow.
So yes, it was kind of like, Colton, you should have joined earlier.
yeah, this is your brother.
This is my brother.
Yes, and he has loved every minute and been a super involved FFA member since then. And I'm sure that he's wishing he would have joined before his junior
Yes.
year.
Okay, so you can join at any time. I mean, can you
Yeah.
going into your senior year join?
Yep, you can
Okay.
even, if you're just going to be a senior, you can still join.
That's very cool. Well, I think this is a good time to take a break. And then I want to, when we come back, I want to talk about like state and national competitions. And then we'll answer the burning question, did you ever meet the boy?
Yes.
We're 1 hour from the cities and 1 hour from the cabin. We're at the crossroads where good food, cold beer, and small towns collide. Princeton's got pizza that will change your road trip plans, tacos that belong on your camera roll, and a brewery that will probably just make you forget about where you're going. And if you're into adrenaline, our racetrack has got you covered. And if you're into chill, we have parks, rivers, trails, and enough space for you to breathe. Princeton, it's not on your bucket list, but it should be.
And we're back. So just to finish up on the competitions, I am curious about state and national. So, and more so about the leadership portion of it where the president, so I'm sure you know what I'm talking about on TikTok. I see the national FFA where they're introducing or announcing for the different regions, I think, the president, vice president, treasurer, secretary. It is like the most exciting. I mean, people are like over the top excited for it. It's really, have you ever seen these?
No, I'm surprised you haven't sent them to me. But
FFA?
yeah.
Oh, they're so cool to watch. Every year I watch them, and there's like dramatic music, and it's dark.
For
and
national? At the national?
yes,
level?
and
Okay.
so are people applying? I'm always so curious about this, and there's always lots of questions on TikTok for those videos. But are people at that level applying for the positions, or how does that work?
So what they have to do to get up to the national level is every state can select a current FFA member to apply for that. So usually Minnesota will select somebody who was a state officer to continue on to nationals. And once you become a national FFA officer, your life has changed forever. Like, it probably means that you're going to be running Big John Deere someplace. Maybe you'll be like the Secretary of State for Agriculture. Like,
Wow.
they travel the entire world as ambassadors for agriculture.
Well, no wonder they're so excited.
Yes.
So is
Yes.
it different? I'm going to watch this with such a different outlook now. I'm going to watch it again. So are there different, it seems like they're announcing a lot of people. So are there different regions or something with the National FFA?
Yes, you would represent a region like the Southwest region or the North
Okay.
region, and they kind of become like the vice presidents almost, but then we do have a specific president. So the office positions work a little bit different at the national level.
Okay.
But at the Minnesota level, any FFA member can apply to be a Minnesota FFA officer. And then they go through like a grueling weekend of questions and interviews and group activities and all that kind of stuff. And then they will select 6 officers to represent for the state of Minnesota. And that also, like, it's very difficult to be a state officer and go to college and all that stuff because
Right.
of the time commitments that you have for that. But again, it's life-changing, and you're probably going to be running a big company someday, and your name will always be,
Wow.
pretty highlighted in the world of agriculture.
I had no idea.
Goals for you too?
Yeah. Morgan considered it. Morgan pushed it, but she has different ambitions.
Yeah.
And because of the time commitment for it, she decided not to. However, now she is a finalist for Princess K of the Milky Way.
We heard.
Yeah, so that has also been a huge time commitment for her. So she obviously couldn't do both, and actually there's a part in the bylaws that says you cannot do both. So she has made this choice, and I'm so happy for her.
That's
and
so
excited
exciting.
for her,
I'm so excited.
I know. I am too.
Mostly
So
for the butterhead.
yeah,
it's so cool. We were just saying we got to do a whole different thing about the butterhead. So has anyone from Princeton gone to the state level for
We've had
officers?
several people that have applied and went through the grueling interview, but since my time, I haven't had a constitutional officer at the state level. Kristen Ryman Duden was the regional president, and regional presidents do help the state officers as like a extra officer, but not like the constitutional. But yeah, we've had many apply, but it is, again, a tough thing to go through.
Wow.
And that is a huge experience for them.
Yes, they
Just
gain
going through it. I mean, that's like interviewing for a job. Just go
Yes.
interview.
Yeah, but
interview
probably
as
a
many
lot.
as you can.
Yeah.
Yes. So it helps them so much prepare for the future, regardless
Yeah.
if they get the officer.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow, that is so interesting. I'm going to rewatch. Highly recommend watching that on TikTok. It's incredible. And people are like, and the comments are like, I have no idea what this is, but I'm crying. And
Yeah. And National FFA Convention is intense in the first place. I mean, there is like 60,000 FFA members all wearing their blue jackets.
Yep.
The largest and biggest agricultural corporations are there vying to try to get them to apply and work for their companies. And
Wow.
colleges are there. The amount of money that agricultural sponsors put into, like John Deere and Cargill and all those big names, it's intense. It is really incredible.
wow. I mean, so it's just, that kind of leads us into our next question. There's so much more to FFA than the competitions. And I mean, it's really helps shape you as a person and for future. And there is other things that are other parts of FFA that are beyond competitions, right?
Yeah. So one of my big things as the advisor is to get my students involved in the community. I want them to feel comfortable doing community service. So when they graduate high school and they go off to their colleges or off to their jobs and careers, that they still feel comfortable enough to make connections and get back into the community and make their community better. So I don't know if these ladies want to share some things that they love about Princeton FFA community service, but we are a huge proponent of giving back.
You can go first.
So something I love about the community service that we do at Princeton FFA is that we try to reach farmers and help farmers. So I actually work for Alpha and Omega Farm, and we have set up a fundraiser, fun day, whatever you want to call it, where we go and we help them with anything they need help with on the farm. So we've weeded the gardens, we've cleaned up the farm, we've trimmed hooves and gave shots. And then as our payment for doing it is we get pizza. So that's one of our really fun ones. I think
That's
we
worth
just started
it.
that last summer.
JJ's.
So yes, and I hope that we continue to do that one. And we do plenty of other community service things. So we actually have a community service committee, and they do tons of awesome things. We'll make tie blankets. We'll go to Feed My Starving Children. We'll do cleanup things. So yeah.
I saw recently, I follow you guys on Facebook. I think you did something at the hockey arena. Is that right? Or did you?
That was the landscaping class.
Oh, that was a landscaping class.
So
okay.
it's me, but it's a
Something different. Okay.
entity.
All right. Scratch that.
But we did landscaping, and a lot of my FFA members are in the landscaping
Right.
class, so it kind of all blends
Right.
together.
Yeah.
Well, I will make you some pizza if you come and weed my garden and do some landscaping.
It won't be JJ's though.
Jack's frozen.
Yeah, exactly. So what about you?
Aside from some of those events, we also do some like around the school, like community service. So we'll give back to like our teachers during National FFA Week, and we'll give them ice cream. So we'll like scoop ice cream for them and kind of just have like a little ice cream social with them, just chat with them, say that we appreciate them. We've done trash pickups around the school just to make sure like things are clean, and that'll be kind of around Earth Day.
Okay.
And then one of my favorites that sometimes I can't usually like make it to, but our FFA Kitty Barn at the county fair is probably one of my favorites because that's kind of where like at the end of the year and in like the fall going to county fair season, we can bring in a lot of our projects that we've either done in Lepke's class or just projects that we've done through FFA, and we can take those, showcase it to the public, talk about what we get to do. And this is really where we get to talk to a lot of people around Princeton in our community, and just like not even just in Mille Lacs County, but like across Minnesota, people that come to visit our county fair and just speak about our purpose. And we get to bring in our animals, which is also kind of fun to talk about them as well, and just to see little kids and their spark in their eye, just to start that interest of ag early. Is
The mini barn is the best.
I know, and this is during the Mille Lacs County Fair, correct?
Yeah.
In August. One thing that I think is really interesting about this organization is that you guys are year-round. You know, a lot of the school organizations, they're, you know, when May hits, then they're done for the summer and they come back together in the fall. And I'm sure maybe it's not as, well, maybe it is as active in the summer. But you guys, I think it's really neat that you have such good participation throughout the year.
Well, and a lot of the time too, like that's one way we kind of hook people is like, just because like there's a fee at the beginning of the year doesn't mean like it's just for like the summer season or for the fall season. Like it is a year-round thing, and that really gets a lot of people interested because they're getting their money's worth, and it's things to do, keep them busy all year.
Yeah, exactly. So what how do you interact with businesses in the community and stuff through FFA?
So one of the community service that we didn't mention yet is our Crop and Money Drive that happens in October. And that raises money for Camp Courage, which is a camp in Annandale that is for disabled people so that they're able to go to camp. And we, FFA's across Minnesota has been helping with this for, I don't know, since 1930 or something like that. So, yeah, so it's all over Minnesota, all FFA chapters, I can't say all, I guess, but most FFA chapters get money for Camp Courage. So in October, you'll often see FFA members in their blue jackets going to some businesses around town asking for donations, and then those donations go to Camp Courage. If they donate an item, we put it on a silent auction, and then that money comes back to FFA and Camp Courage. And then we also go out to farmers during this time, make connection with the farmers, have them get to know our members a little bit, and then also ask them for a donation for Camp Courage. So that's one way we connect, get our name out there, show them who we are, and then ask in return to help a little bit.
And that Camp Courage, that's a local connection too, because I know that there's a group that goes out of, they used to go to Community Ed. I don't know if Camp Courage does that anymore, but Janelle Mead goes to Camp Courage every year and takes a big group right here from Princeton.
Yes, and there was a farmer whose daughter had attended there for many years, so he was always such a big supporter of that as well. So there are local connections with that group. Yeah.
So what can the Princeton community do for you? I mean, what are some needs you have that I feel like this is going to make people much more aware of everything that you do, because I'm not sure that people generally know that.
Not me.
Yeah.
I mean, my opinion right now is, why wouldn't you join?
Yeah, exactly. So is there a way that the community what needs do you have?
Well, last year we had a team that went to National FFA, the Ag Mechanics team went. And it's really hard to get to Nationals because every state only sends one team.
Oh.
And so it's very difficult. But it's also very expensive to pay for a team to go there and pay for all their expenses and a lot of their studying materials. And when you go to Nationals, they have some increased studying that you have to do. because it's a national competition, so it's not just Minnesota based. It might be some information that you have to learn if you're in California and everything like that.
Right.
Anyways, when we went to nationals last fall, the community was super supportive, donating funds for that team to go. It was just very heartwarming to see that.
One team in the state goes,
One
and it
team,
was Princeton.
One team from every contest. But
Yeah.
yes, there's not very many teams that get to go to nationals.
Wow, that's incredible.
That is.
Yeah. And in my time, I've had one horse team, one floral design team, and then one egg mechanics team. So, I mean, that's 27 years and I only got 3 teams.
Right. It's not easy, is what you're
FFA
saying.
Is
Yeah.
amazing. Like I don't know if other communities have as big of a program as you run, Jessie, but I just feel like I'm hearing about FFA all throughout the year.
How many members do you have?
We currently have around 52 members.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and we have some people that, will come to meetings or be involved with like the football concession stands, but never really, become members or join. But, to me, that's okay because they're still gaining skills from just showing up on a Friday night and serving, hot dogs and popcorn,
Absolutely.
So, I just encourage all young people to get involved in some way, shape, or form. So, yeah.
And for FFA, just to be clear, you do not have to compete. You can just join FFA, do the community service, kind of you pick and choose what you want to do. But for kids who maybe think, oh, I don't want to, compete, that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. There's community service. Recently we just had a bonfire. We try to have several just fun activities to create that community and that bond with our other members. And yeah, so I don't know. These guys might want to tell people what their favorite part of FFA is because we recently had officer interviews for next year in FFA, and I was like crying the whole time because their messages are so powerful. If you just sit and listen to young people share their experiences, it's wonderful. So these guys have much more to say about their favorite and why they love FFA.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask you. Like, if somebody was on the edge, which I know you guys have talked to people about that, how would you convince them that this is a great thing to be a part of?
Well, first, before we move on to that, a little jumping off of what Lupke said, is that you do not have to necessarily be a member to go to a meeting. So if you're unsure, you don't have to pay the fee. You can show up to a meeting, come to a couple meetings. We always have food, and see if it's something that you're interested in. And you can even go to a practice or two before you decide if it's something you really want to do. One of my favorite things about being an FFA, like I said a little bit ago, like a while ago, is that the community aspect is so strong, whether you're looking at Princeton, Minnesota, or the national organization. We're all here for a purpose. We all want to grow. Most of us have some agricultural background and want to help support that agriculture industry, but some people live in townhouses, they live in an apartment complex, and they're still there to help support agriculture.
Everybody should want to support agriculture.
Exactly. And it's just awesome. And yeah, it's wonderful. I can't find the words to describe it. It's not something that you would think is such a strong community aspect. Like when we go to state, I'll talk to people from northern Minnesota and we bond over the small things. And then you talk to somebody from way south Minnesota and it's just awesome to talk to these people, learn more about what agricultural things are happening in their community, sharing what's happening in our community, and then just bonding over that.
And again, that's going to serve you so well in life after you leave high school.
Absolutely.
That experience alone, yeah.
Probably my favorite things, I definitely like talking to people. So being able to connect with others, kind of like Callie said. I was a regional officer just this last year as the Sentinel, and my duty is just to make people feel welcome and greet everybody. So I basically had the perfect role for my personality because I'm a super outgoing and bright
I can
person.
tell.
And yeah, so that was just really fun. And now I've got people that like I'm going to college with, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I remember you." And I was like, "Perfect."
Yes.
Because I made connections all over Minnesota through FFA, and it helps me out so much. I mean, I got a job over at Princeton Floral, and I probably wouldn't have been able to do it without FFA. Like,
Right.
Well, that was a huge thing on your resume, I would imagine, or during your interview.
oh yeah, and like I mean, really, it wasn't like a crazy interview. It was just more so the fact like I was passionate about Floral. I came there. They told me no initially, actually, and I was like, oh darn it. And it was right before County Fair. I'd asked if I could build something in their shop because I didn't really have the space at my own house, and they said yes. And then they saw my talent, and they were like, wow, like you've got the right personality for this. And I think from all the times I've ever had to talk to people, do interviews, meet with people, meet new egg teachers, and it just like kind of prepared me to make me feel comfortable in pretty much any situation I'm in.
Absolutely.
So I have a question for you specifically since you've graduated. What are your intentions in college? What do you want to be when you grow up, Morgan?
I want to be a florist when I'm older.
Awesome.
I could have guessed that.
Yeah. I'll be attending the U of M Crookston this fall to major in egg business with a minor in horticulture, and hopes to be a florist. And hopefully with that egg business side of things, that'll teach me more so like money managing and stuff, because sometimes I can be quite the extravagant spender. But actually, fun fact, Crookston is the only U of M, or I guess the only college in Minnesota that provides a collegiate FFA. So I'll be
Okay.
continuing FFA there.
Very cool.
Yes, I love that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. I guess so to wrap it up, we're doing pretty well here on time. So did you meet the boy, Morgan?
I met the boy.
No way.
Right away?
Not right away. I actually met him in 11th grade. He's from Glencoe, Minnesota.
Not even from Princeton.
Okay. Well, you didn't say that you had to meet a boy in Princeton FFA.
Exactly.
He
Okay.
is an FFA, yes.
Yeah. That very
From
cool.
Glencoe.
Glencoe.
Is,
Yep.
Yes.
is he the same age
He is the same age.
and going to the same school?
No,
No? Okay.
but
That's all right.
Been dating for a while.
Okay.
year and a half.
All right. So
Yeah.
people, that's another reason to join FFA.
Right. Well,
You're not just
yes.
meeting people in
I
Princeton.
I have many former FFA members that have gotten married. so-
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, and I just want to give a shout out to you too, Jessie. You know, you said 27. Your work is incredible, and what you offer to students and what you do for students is just really amazing. And I just want to make sure to tell you that. Because you just are working all year long.
Yeah.
And you put in so much extra, and we really appreciate
And
everything you do.
Yeah, you can just tell how passionate you are about it. You know, some people do this at the extra stuff for just, I don't know if it's.
I'm sure you're doing it for the money, but
Yeah.
But you can tell that you are just so passionate.
yeah.
Yeah.
About
Thank you.
helping kids.
I love my job and I wouldn't do anything else.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So we talked about, before we started the podcast, we talked about how we needed to get 4-H on here.
Yeah,
as
that'll be our
well.
next.
Our next one will be 4-H.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear all about that too.
Very cool. Well, okay then. So until next time, this is Kim and Mary signing off. This is Princeton. Stay here, play here. Well done, you guys.
You guys were, Jessie, you were so good.
You guys are so cute though. Like, oh, God.
I am so excited about FFA. I cannot wait to go home and talk to Cece.
I can
Yeah.
do something for open class.
She'll be a freshman this year.